What's up? This is Christian, and today I want to show you this Reddit traversing project I've been working on. So I've been wanting to post more on Twitter, and a real easy way to do that is to get ideas. I'm not an endless pool of ideas. I'm actually, in my opinion, I don't think I'm very creative, so I hit blocks a lot. And something I decided to do is get ideas from Reddit. I mean, Reddit is like a limitless source of ideas, of funny stuff. You know, they have an upvote system, so the higher scored stuff is put on top a lot of the time. So to utilize that resource, I'm not going to be copying ideas, but I'm going to be getting ideas of things that people think are funny to post on Twitter or to make TikToks from, whatever I decide to do. So, interestingly, in one of my classes, we actually learned how to create a Reddit instance to access subreddits, data from subreddits. So we do that using this. This is how you create your instance. You're going to want to install Pra. Since I'm using Google Colab, I have to do it this way. But if you're using your own computer, then you'll do it through the command line. So you do that, and then you'll create your instance. You'll need a client ID, client secret, and user agent. I can put a link to a little forum that shows you how to create your own app. But probably the more difficult part was actually I had never created any sort of Google Sheet, Google Doc from Python, especially from within Google Colab, which I'm not sure if it's easier or harder in different ways, but that's just what I did. And so these are classes I imported. So definitely an important thing here is you have to authenticate, and I think I already did it, hopefully, because I don't want to have to do it again. But essentially it'll ask you, make sure you want to use the drive you're in, and then it'll give you a code that lets you access the stuff in your drive, modify, and access that content. So here, real simple, this is where I authorize, and then now we're going to start working with the spreadsheets. So yeah, so this is where we authorize the use of Google Sheets, which is this GS. This is Google Content. So this is what I want to name the new sheet. This is going to be the name of the specific worksheet, and then this is just true if I want to actually create it, because some of the times that I was doing it, I felt like it's very redundant to constantly be creating a new Google Sheet with the same name because it was just being overwritten. So in this case, it's going to be true since we are going to want to create that new sheet. So here that is, and then this is what we do to open it, and it's actually pretty interesting. So this is how I created my instance of the subreddit. So I used Reddit.subreddit, and I chose programming humor. And then this is the important part, I wanted to search using a specific keyword, and in this case I used interview. And it's kind of, these instances of the subreddit are lazy, so you won't access every single subreddit post, which is kind of nice. But in cases where you want to access more, larger, I guess not larger, but more info from this specific search, you'll need to kind of like create an unlazy instance, which is something a little different that I didn't really work with, maybe in a future video. And so something I needed to understand was how to add the data I was getting from this specific search into a Google Sheet. So what I figured out was that they use a two-dimensional array format to read it. So that's what I did. So I created just an empty array, and then I added the titles I was going to use for each of them. And then from there, I just access each submission score, title, and URL. And I added that all into a 2D array. I converted that into a data frame using Panda. And then this right here is just to make sure that the score and title are correct, because if I do it like that, check this out, I'm not sure if this is even gonna work. I'm gonna have to create, yeah. So see how it's 0, 1, 2. So this is just to make it kind of nice. And yeah, see it's scored, title, link. But yeah, so this just post it, and then this here is what I actually use to add it to the Google Sheet. So I'm gonna take this out, and then I'm gonna run the whole thing. Hopefully it doesn't ask me to reauthorize. If it does, I'll pause and reauthorize. I just don't want to reveal any personal info. So nice thing about, I actually really like using Google Colab, and it makes things real interesting, real simple, and I make TikTok videos also, and I like using this because I'm able to lay everything out the way I want to. I can run each individual aspect of the program and just post it in there. Alright, so it should have created the instance. This shows what was added added to the Google Sheet. So let me actually do that again, and I'll name it something unique so we know that I created it. So I'll go test 1, add random stuff. So then I'll run everything again. I'm not actually sure if I have to, but we'll just do it anyways, just so we make sure. So it's gonna run all of that again, and I'll show you right here. The last name I had was Twitter 2, I think. Let's see if it'll show me. Yeah, see Twitter content 2, and then this is the one we just created. We'll let this finish running to make sure. Okay, so it should have all the data that we wanted to. See, check it out. So we have all the stuff that I wanted. I haven't really dealt with modifying these rows to be text wrapped, but it's a pretty simple fix. So as you can see here, we have a bunch of titles. The search we did was for interview, and as you can see, most of them have the word interview in the title, but in some cases, like this one, it doesn't have the keyword interview in it. So that kind of confused me a bit, but I did some further research and I found that the description, they also searched the description for the word interview. So something I ran into at the beginning was I wanted to have the media on the side, but I don't want to actually download everything. I didn't want to download the pictures, I didn't want to download the videos, and so I found alternatives to doing that. But the thing was, one of the alternatives gave me links to the videos that didn't have any sound, and I mean that's not very useful to me, because if a video is trending and I can't even hear it, then it's kind of useless, you know? I don't know what's going on. So then I found these URLs. So if I click on this URL, it'll take me, in this case it takes me to the post. It talks about if doctors were like software engineers. And the nice thing about this specific link is it takes me to the whole thread, but I'm more interested in just the actual content of the post. So let's look at the next one, see if we can get some variety of context. It's the same girl if tech interviews were honest, so it's something different. Let's see, there's a PNG format. So these are the ones I used to really like looking at. It was essentially just memes, and I would make TikTok videos based off of these memes. So like, failing tech interview sucks, but it just means you weren't good enough at the time. So I'd read some of these and I'd be like, yo, you know what, I can make a cool video based on this. I wouldn't literally just take this and then post it, you know. That's I don't know, that just doesn't feel authentic. That doesn't feel right. I guess lately I've been trying to make things based off of my personality, which is not something I usually do. So this one's a little different. I think I saw this one earlier. I didn't really get it. I'm still kind of getting back into programming, so a lot of these, actually quite a few of these memes I don't really understand. So yeah, you just find a lot of real interesting stuff. Learn SQL in 60 minutes. Yeah, I don't really get this. But it's nice to have all these organized in here, but you can see the score. The score is based on like upvotes versus downvotes. I don't know if it's a literal like binary like +1 -1, but so before what I was doing is I would just sort it manually, but then I found that there's actually a method down here that if I run this and then set it again, it should sort all this. See that? So it sorts it based on the highest score down to the lowest score, which I think is pretty sick. So now I can just see like some of the best content that people will really like, and then as I go down, you know, I'll be going through the best posts essentially. When they reject you for an internship, so you vote out their business model. Live democracy. That's kind of funny. Yeah, some of these are funny, but they're hard to make videos out of. I guess based on my creativity. For other people, it might be a lot easier, but this is just what I do. And this was really simple to program. I think I did this overnight. But yeah, this is like a small subset. If you guys want me to go more in depth into what I did for this program, or if you want me to add a link to the GitHub code, let me know. But yeah, that's just what I've been working on. Peace.